Hey, thanks for tuning in to Thrive America. My name is Brent. I'm going to be your host, and I'm joined by good friend Russell Fair, who owns and operates RF Web Studio. And Russell, thanks for joining us today and being on our very first episode.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Great. Let's kind of jump right into things. First, I want you to tell me about a little bit about what you do and as it pertains to the internet marketing world and the website design world and so forth.
Okay. Well, basically, about 6 years ago, I started designing websites. And over the last 2 or 3 or 4 years, I don't know exactly when it happened, but over the last few years, I kind of made this transition away from just creating attractive websites to trying to provide tools that are really useful to businesses and business owners and people who are in sales, any professional, trying to provide tools that they can utilize to get more out of what they do, to just maximize and leverage everything that they do.
A lot of people are finding themselves in situations maybe they didn't want to find themselves in right now in this economy,
Right.
and they might be looking at the internet. They might be thinking about starting their own business. There might be a passion of theirs that they've always wanted to entertain, and now might be a time for them to pursue that. But there may be a lot of confusing places to go online. Can you help calm that chaos a little bit and give us a toolbox, if you will, of what are the tools of the internet?
Right. Well, there's several tools. One of the big tools in every business owner and business's toolbox is to utilize a system called a blog, which I know you're familiar with. Mm-hmm. The big difference is that it allows for you to go away from the position of having to hire and having to have someone internally who does your internet advertising, and it puts you a little bit in the driver's seat. It lets you, instead of investing all of your cash, which, as you mentioned, in this economy is not something everybody's looking to throw around money, it allows you to invest more of your time. And ultimately, in a lot of ways, it's going to kind of eliminate some of the peripheral information that may not be as useful to your customers as what is truly inside your head.
Well, that's good news. If something you're saying could eliminate a big paycheck to say someone to write up a coded website or a
Right.
static website versus finding a system to immediately start a blog.
Right.
But I'm still feeling a little bit confused and overwhelmed. So, in other words, let's pretend, or hypothetically, I have an idea and I want to take you up on this concept. Can you help me out with some other? Where do I start? Where do I begin? How do I begin a blog and so
Right.
forth?
Well, there's a couple of preliminary things that you want to work on. For example, the first thing that you got to do is obviously you want to come up with a great name. You think of something that represents what you do, represents some of the core elements of your business. Once you've kind of figured that out, you know where you want to go. You can really kind of get some momentum from there. The next thing you want to do is determine what blogging platform you want to use. There are several out there. There's a lot of popular ones. There are some that work particularly well for particular industries. But the most common one that my clients are using, and the one that I tend to recommend the most, is called WordPress. And that WordPress is a free software that you can operate yourself for a very, very small cost.
I think you hit on something in the beginning, which was a name, and I think for a lot of people, the way to come up with a great name is probably by finding what they're passionate about.
A lot of it really just has to do with they need to identify what is the core reason why people are going to hire them. And their name doesn't have to be completely centered around that. But, for example, find out what it is that you really want to do. Find out what you're good at. Maybe it's just what you love, something you've done all your life or something you've only been doing a couple months, but you really have a passion for it. Center what you do around that. The great thing about a blog, and a blog is just a publishing tool that allows you to put your content, your written words and video and pictures and all of that on the internet without needing somebody like myself. Give you a tool that allows you to do it, and then you can take the ball from there. But it allows you the opportunity to write about those topics that are so near and dear to you. And assuming that you are passionate about it and that you are spending amount of time writing about it and researching it and writing really thought-provoking and really inspirational pieces, you're going to get some positive feedback on it.
Okay, so I think I'm almost sold on this idea of a blog, and the concept of um, writing about what I love. Is it so? Is a blog a website or?
A blog is a website, absolutely. You'd asked me a couple things. What are some of the benefits, and we've touched on a couple of them. The other thing that a blog does that makes it unique, makes it different from a regular website, and is what you probably have defined as a website, is that a blog allows for your readers to engage you in a dialogue, and it allows for them to, at your discretion, of course, leave comments on your blog for you, so that you and the rest of your readers can view those comments. By doing that, by allowing people to do that, it encourages them to read more of your stuff and comment on it. It encourages them to come back and read what others have commented on over months or however long. And it encourages them to communicate with your other readers and discuss what you're talking about. It's a really neat thing to see happen. It's kind of magical to see two people who you've never met or heard of or been introduced to, who have just stumbled upon your website, your blog, and for them to start to engage one another in conversation about a topic that you wrote about. That's a very magical thing.
It sounds exciting if you have something that you're passionate about, and like you said, people are commenting, and I guess and it would inspire you to keep writing and creating
Sure.
blog content. So how if I'm sitting and watching this program and I'm thinking, okay, I think I've got something I can be passionate about, and I think I can write some articles and how to content for my blog, but I'm still wondering how I'm going to monetize this.
Mm-hmm.
Can you shed some light on some advice you give to people on how they can turn their passion into a stream of income?
Right. Well, and that kind of is a perfect segue into that fourth benefit that I had mentioned, is that by having the blog, it allows for you to create a database of subscribers. People can actually subscribe to your blog, similar to how they might subscribe to an email newsletter. It's a little different though, because instead of getting it in their inbox, they can subscribe to your blog in a number of different ways. As you're developing your content and you're writing, you will notice that the more you write, the faster your number of subscribers grows. And that as you develop that database, you have a couple of different options for making money through your blog. Of course, the foremost way to make money off your blog is to advertise your own products and services there and offer people to hire you for those services. Assuming that you get some clients through your blog, that's one way to make money blogging. The other model, however, there's actually a couple of different advertising or revenue streams that you can create by having a blog with a subscriber database. First, obviously, is you can sell advertisements from other companies. There's a number of different firms that will connect you with advertisers who want to advertise on a blog similar to what you're writing about. The other way to do it is by selling premium content or downloadable content. Basically, what I mean by that is, for example, if I do a number of workshops and I want to document everything that I teach, I can put all of that information into a PDF and sell it, basically. I can let people pay $5, $10, $100, whatever I deem the value to that item for a one-time download. Or another popular model is to actually make all of that content available to subscribed premium subscribers. So basically people who are actually paying a monthly fee, a set monthly fee, to have access to all of your resources. And obviously that is contingent on you writing and really being thorough with what you're writing.
So Russell, I'd like to kind of break our segment now into two sections, if that's
Sure.
all right. So this is going to be considered part one of two,
Okay.
because I want to know more about monetizing my blog. You obviously shared some great examples, but I want to come back and ask you some more questions specifically about how I can do that. So if that's all right with you, we can bring it back.
Sure.
All right. So this has been episode one of two with Russell Fair, and check back on the Thrive America website, and we'll see you back in just a few.